Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Peaky Blinders. This is episode 5 of season 3. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. Last episode was interesting. Tommy did try and kill Father Hughes. You know, he is a person that Tommy thinks is passing information from the Russians to the Soviets, and obviously he thinks he's a little rat, a little spy in the camp, and obviously he's telling the plan to them. When in reality, he is doing that with the knowledge that the Russians are, you know, feeding it to him. Basically, their plan is to tell Father some information for him to go and tell the Soviets, and then he wants the Soviets, or the Russians do, they want them to attack on the night that Tommy is moving the armoured vehicles and cause a big diplomatic war, so to speak, between everybody. So really, Father Hughes is just being a double agent to both of them, and it's obviously really interesting because obviously Tommy wanted to take him out and they was like, yeah, go for it, but it turns out he's actually on their side. And Tatiana's kind of getting closer to Tommy as well. You know, she was asking him what information did he know about him when Tommy was asking, can he kill him? She said, do whatever you want, mate, you know, do whatever your heart desires. Pick whatever battle you want to pick whatever person you want to pick. And obviously on that occasion he picked her and they spent the night together. Seems like they're getting closer, so it's going to be interesting to see. Arthur's wife, you know, kind of well, basically there was all walkouts with females all over the country. They want to stand up for female rights, equal pay, know, better working conditions, and she obviously come and she told Polly, she told Esme and crew. They decided that they're going to join in, and it seemed like Polly was loving it, mate. Like, you know, she was a leader of the speech, she was gathering bigger crowds and many people that was there. Yeah, she said that she was drunk and she couldn't remember it the day after. But what I do think is interesting is obviously Linda. She seems to have, well, it looks like Arthur's best interest at heart. She's pregnant. She's got a new life set out, planned for them, move to California, you know, live on the beach, you know, take Arthur away from the blinders and the chaos and the fighting and the drugs. And she wants to settle down with his kid. Now, obviously, Tommy said that they're going to do this job and, you know, he doesn't expect to get paid from the Russians. You know, he said that the Russians are going to pay them and they're going to give them, obviously, jewels and diamonds and sapphires. Well, Tommy believes that he will get some sort of money, but not what he's promised. He's been promised 150 grand and he doesn't think that's going to happen. So what they're going to do is they're going to hit the Russians. While all this chaos is going on, while the armoured vehicles are being attacked, they're going to hit them. They're going to go under the house and they're going to steal their vault. So it's going to be interesting to see. But Tommy said that Arthur's going to take 30k and Linda was like, no, mate, I've ran the numbers. He's going to take 41k and he's not going to do it for anything less. So I do think that's interesting that she's standing up and she's barking orders as well. But Tommy was attacked obviously by Father Hughes when Tommy tried to take him out. Then obviously he's left him beaten and blooded and Tommy's had to come back with his tail between his legs and apologise in front of all of the Russians and Tatiana, saying that the information that he had was false even though it wasn't. And then he's left the room and he's gone to the Soviets and he's told them about everything that's happening, how Father Hughes is playing both sides and how obviously they're planning and hoping that they do retaliate on the night of the attack. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. Tommy knows the information from both different parties. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into episode 5 of season 3 of Peaky Blinders.
Thank you, nurse. Tommy, I need to speak to you about the priest. I know things about him from when I was a boy. I will shoot him myself, Tommy.
It's easy, Michael. Just point, pull the trigger.
It's not as easy as that though, is it? It's all the emotions that come through it. And the knowing of what's coming after. 3 months later, so we skipped. Yo, they have some mad stores, don't they, for the cigarettes, man?
He asked for me today. Not his mother. Where is he? Is he in the kitchen?
Yes, he's with the girls and Johnny.
Do you ever read the Bible, Mary? Do you ever read it out loud while standing naked next to my bed? When I take the morphine the doctor gave me, that's what you do. Do you want to know what happens next? No, neither do I.
She's like, what the fuck?
Without the firing pins, the guns won't work.
And there are no replacements.
They don't make these anymore. These are the end of the line.
Take them all out and give them to me.
Oh, come on, boys, not fucking about.
And I will tell the Soviet ambassador that there is no longer a need to blow up the train.
You know,
know some mornings I wake up,
cutting a
I
new
think
deal.
I died and this is heaven, Tom.
Have you ever heard of Hampton Court Palace, Johnny? You and 3 families of the Lees are going to set up camp 100 yards from the gates of the palace and open a hole underneath your tents and caravans.
You see this blow to the head you took, Tom?
And for allowing the hole to be dug, you'll get £5,000, which you will split between the 3 Lee families.
Mr. Shelby, your
So he's
brothers
building
are
his
here,
tunnel towards the house so he can
and there's
rob them.
someone who described himself as the Wandering Jew.
Good morning, Mr. Solomons.
Yeah, it is.
Drink?
No, don't touch it, mate. Your housekeeper said you're not allowed to drink. Word in London is that you can be found wandering the streets of Birmingham, stark naked, throwing away money.
You know something, Alfie? This morning, I tried to read the paper, and I realised the only consequence of my terrible accident is that I now need glasses.
I know a man who can make you a pair of these. He is a magician. So not only will you be able to read your newspaper, you will also be able to see into the future.
He's good in it. I actually think he's really good.
You're fucking about with the Russians, isn't you, you silly boy?
Sure, the kid's yours. I wish I hadn't told you.
Think of marriage.
Is he joking? Oh, it's hard to tell these days.
She doesn't want to have the baby.
We know a woman.
What's up, John?
Same woman who helped you out twice.
No more women.
If you're gonna get on like this with the Apaches, they'll fucking scalp you, boy.
Tommy said when that bell rings, we'll all go to the big room.
But basically, it sounds like Tommy's bought a big set of land that he wants him and obviously a couple of other Lees to go and kind of live there, camp there, whatever's, while somebody comes and digs a hole underneath. And I'm assuming that hole is going to be dug down straight into the tunnels that take you right into the house to the Russian vault, where they hope they can obviously rob it. Now, I'm glad that Alfie is back, actually. You know, I enjoyed him last season. Very intense character. Really good. I think it has a lot of potential, to be honest. I mean, I would love it if we went into season 4, 5, 6 or whatever, as the Blinders expanding the business ventures with another gang. Do you know what I mean? Because at first, we kind of seen it where Alfie was kind of trying to work alongside Sabini in the racings, wasn't it? And then obviously he's come and Tommy sat down, and the deal that they cut, he wanted 100% of his business, and they ended up setting on 35%. So they both got a joint business adventure, and I would like to see them take forward more, you know, like more opportunities together combined, because I think the more scenes he's in, you know, Tom Hardy, the better it is. I think his acting's really... I like the way he speaks, honestly. I like his voice and everything, his personality. To me, he's really interesting.
Arthur! Arthur!
Arthur, come here.
Alfie.
Shalom. Come on, listen. I owe you a little something, don't I? I do. That whatever happened between us, yeah, back then, that was business. It was just business. All right. And now I would also like to extend my personal apologies unto you. I hear that you have allowed Jesus to come into your life.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's wonderful. That's lovely, isn't it? That's lovely.
Your apologies accepted.
Every man, he craves certainty, doesn't he? He craves his certainty.
I'm Old Testament.
Fucking hell, look at that. Now that. Congratulations, Tommy. You now have the finished article right there, ain't you?
We're gonna do business with this fucker. I demand to know why.
Well, you're going to take what is ours. We need to see what's in their treasury, and that's why we need Mr. Solomon. Just remember, they are fucking insane and dangerous and drunk on stuff we've never heard of, and they're worse than us for spirits and ghosts.
Russians. All turned and ran.
Mr. Shelby, welcome.
Excuse the deception. Whenever we open the treasury, the Cossacks are on guard.
Men on the other side of the law grade their body in tattoos. Now, some of these tattoos are proof of allegiance to underground organizations, royal households. Check for such tattoos before engaging a man in business.
Tchaikovsky.
And my body's already been checked, although at the time I wasn't sure that was the reason. Take your clothes off.
Fuck off. No.
Obey.
Come on, Arthur.
Shut up, John.
I will have a maid gather the buttons.
There you go, ladies. Made in fucking Birmingham.
Your face, Arthur's fucking picture.
Arthur's going to push her
Sometimes
away.
assassins hide their allegiances behind their balls. But you passed the test, soldier. Flying colors.
There now.
There.
He might be thinking she's trying to use me all the time as well. Do you know what I mean? His head might have been clouded last time.
Holy fuck, Tom.
What was that? Well done, boys. Hey, well done, Arthur.
You can tell Arthur Depot didn't want to do that though. Look at him. It's good that emotion. So alright, I've got to give credit to the guy who plays Arthur, yeah. His emotions on his face are always very good. Whether he's angry or sad or happy, yeah. He portrays it so good. Like, if you go back and look at his eyes there, they was red. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, he's probably either like stressed out or emotional, and you can see the anguish in his face all of the time. I know John's quite funny as well, but I think Arthur does it really, really well.
Lord Michael, because as chief accountant, he has to be witness.
Michael, stop looking at your watch. Ada, whilst you're reading this, can I go and use your phone?
And keep it quick, I pay the bill.
I will.
Not for long.
With two of us in the company, we can straighten things out.
What about the politics?
You and me fighting together and winning. That is politics. That's a new kind of politics.
My girlfriend is pregnant. We'd like you to help us. We need to fix a date.
Would you like to welcome Ada, our new head of property and acquisitions?
Congratulations.
It's becoming too like his cousin.
I thought that was the idea.
Yeah, Tommy, but with a bit more fucking charm and class. Things are beginning to develop with the man who's painting my portrait.
Bonnie?
Just find yourself talking about every little thing.
And have you?
No. Ada, you don't breathe a fucking word of this to the boys.
Okay, but is he
No,
nice?
no, I mean it, Ada.
Is he rich?
No, his friends write the papers. Why should the boys have all the fun?
That is true though.
One day. Doing good, Stefan.
Prince wants me to suck his cock.
And how much do you need to say yes? That's on top of the day rate for the arse slaps.
For the ass slap.
They said they would kill the three brothers in the ugly of war. He was talking about using a sword, but the woman, she was talking about using machine guns. Fucking madhouse, John.
We're doing up your pub in Neutrals. Looks a treat.
Go on, lad, get through this and you'll get a pub. Go on, son.
This treasury was built 200 years ago to protect the king's jewels in case of French invasion. You're a jeweler.
I don't feel they trust me, Tommy.
Mr. Solomon's is the only jeweler I trust in London.
When you have selected your chosen items, they will be put into a box and stored.
I just start, right, by saying that I might choose to stay here and just starve to death. You people, right, you hunted my mum with dogs. Today, right, is for forgiveness, isn't it?
I think he's such a good character.
Oh, but that was a gift of Tsar Nikolai.
I ain't asking you, though, am I, right? I ain't asking you. All right, I come here to do business. Tsar Nicholas, give you that. Give you 4.
5. With the royal provenance.
Right, Rumpelstiltskin, let's get over here and have a look at what's in these boxes. You recognise this work there?
Immediately.
I'm guessing, right, that all the bad ideas around here, they're you, right? They are you. Somebody comes into my shop with some paste like this. Usually, what I make them do, right, is fucking swallow it. What game are you playing?
Shall we clean it up?
Be careful.
Right, what we got?
37,600.
Do you have any eggs?
We would not offer you family eggs.
Mr. the man of my jeweler, he advises me to insist.
He's just, he's so good. He makes it, every situation that he's in is intense.
I brought that from Crimea myself.
Fucking hell. That does indeed bring us the entire selection to £70,000.
They intend to kill Tommy anyway, so...
Mr. Shelby, you will join your brothers and Mr. Solomons will take his leave.
You know what, right, before we go and see this picture, even though it looked pretty decent last time he was painting it, to be honest, you know, even when he was halfway through, it looked pretty sweet, I'm not going to lie. But, Solomon's, yeah, he's really good. And, like, what I want to know is, I'm assuming that they're all real, because he did pick up one and he was saying, state on this, mate. You think you're trying to pass me with this? You know, if someone come in my shop, it getting rammed down the throat trying to sell me fake stuff. That was pretty much what he was trying to say. Now, obviously, I'm assuming that everything else on there was legit, or I don't know if they're playing along with it and then they're going to come out and then he's going to tell Tommy, nah, they're full of BS. You know what I mean? But these plan to kill them anyway. They plan to kill the Shelbys, so it doesn't really matter what they actually pick, because their actual true intention is never to give it them. So, you know, it is going to be interesting to see anyway. But like I say it all the time, the way Alfie is, his personality, he makes everything so intense, he makes everything more better. You don't know what's going to happen. It's the unpredictability with him, you know, that makes everything so exciting. You never know if he's going to cause an absolute fight, whether he's going to go sweet, do you know what I mean? Or whether he's just going to throw a spanner in the works and just twist it and make everything even worse.
Oh, son, can I?
I insist.
Sick, innit? People are so talented.
Very good.
No, it's still wet.
It does look pretty good, to be fair. Like she said, the guy's a little woodpecker, just pecking away. Got the reward in the end.
Vodka.
I sewed your buttons back on. I wanted to see if I did a good job.
Hey, you did.
My aunt only employs the best horse.
Why do you play games with people? That is no benefit to you.
In Russia, because we were bored. We don't know how to stop. At least there's silly games and orgasms. You still love her, don't you?
She brings her up constant there.
Oh, you fucking
Trying to break him down. That's what they do.
Women who had lost men in the war would lay down. And they would fuck the ghost.
Interesting, mate. That was good.
You are the dealer, let me out of the game. If you are the healer, I'm broken and lame.
I opened up another treasury for you.
He enjoyed it, mate. He enjoyed it. He definitely enjoyed that, didn't he?
Call this painting. Fuck them all.
You want to hear the wildest story of them all? I killed a policeman in cold blood with a gun.
Really?
She did it.
The morning after the night before, innit? Look at how they all look like. Look.
So was us. At one point, I looked down. I got the top of her head, and I thought she was gonna pull me cock off in her hand and fucking throw it out the window.
All your buttons back, eh?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, what's God gonna say about it, Arthur, eh?
Fuck off, Bobby.
What's God gonna say?
Drive the fucking car.
I hope he's put his ring back on so she doesn't see it.
Private Letzel, reporting for duty, Sergeant Major.
That is private.
Good to see you.
Give him the Black Country stuff. It's in the barrel with the tack.
Well, if it ain't the Tipton fucking clay kickers, eh?
Best of the best then for them.
So there's 3 cellars underneath the house. Wine, kitchen, septic. Now this used to be the palace treasury. Tunnel runs directly west and it's separated from the house by 3 iron doors. Need our tunnel to run from here and hit the strong room direct.
Michael's office, she's going in. Snooping.
Ada, is Michael still there? Right. Would you tell him that I've taken the car?
I wonder if it's not even a ring that's in there. Surely she's not took the ring. Oh, she's got it in her hand. Hughes.
Shouldn't go looking through other people's private things.
That is true, but...
It's my son.
Somebody asked me. Somebody told me why he wanted to do it. Now if I tell you, I
You'll
can't take the
do it.
knowledge back.
Her face is doing well there. Look at her. You could tell that she's thinking of everything. She's like going through everything.
The father's.
A priest
I can't wait for him to die.
who was there when he was taken in.
Fuck.
He asked me, Paul, and I said yes.
She knows how it feels. She done the same last season. Something happened to her and she got revenge. He wants the same.
Not my son. If my son pulls the trigger, I will bring this whole fucking organisation down around your ears.
It's a bit of a hypocrite there though, isn't it? She done the same last season. Something happened to her. She got revenge on the guy. The thing is though, I do believe her that like she would literally bring the organisation down. I feel like she's that stubborn. Do you know what I mean? And she is high up in the company. And obviously you shouldn't be taking threats by anybody, but it's not an empty threat. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's some people, an empty threats. Yeah, you do that, I'll do this. Yeah, okay, whatever's. But I actually think that Polly would go down the line where she does either expose him, something happens. Maybe she's going out with somebody that knows loads of people in the press. You know, if Michael went and did do this, she could leak a bit of information, feed him something. He could get it out there. It could be bad for the Peaky Blinders. You know what I mean? Obviously, today as well, they've inspected the jewelry, made sure that it's real. We had Alfie there, you know. It was, I thought it was really good actually, how he was mentioning how, like, the Russians hunted his mum down, you know, chased her with dogs and stuff. Just made the scene more intense, more enjoyable to watch, thinking what's happening here and there. Found one of the items that wasn't as tip-top perfect condition / as real as they've been stating, and he wasn't happy with that. Good to see as well, you know. It was interesting. And then obviously he's asked for an egg, and they've took it. It seemed like they was reluctant to give one over. He also took one of the necklaces off them that he was currently wearing as well, which I thought was good. I'm here to pick whatever I want, mate. You said anything, I want that, and he's took it. So that was really interesting. And obviously they brought miners in now, you know. He's got his own crew. They said that there was 50 of them and only 7's come back, and they're here, they're getting ready to dig that tunnel and go right into, obviously, the facility, which is the finale next episode. You know, that's the beauty of having something so short like this, 6 episodes long, that you get in, build a story, when the action's about to start, boom, you hit it hard, one great episode, move on to the next, you know what I mean? We don't prolong it, we don't mess about. So again, I can't wait for the finale. I don't know, like, how it's going to go, if the Russians are going to win. Obviously, if Tommy's going to get his his money, pretty much, his 150k that he's anticipating, and whether obviously the Soviets are going to come and interfere and cause chaos as well. And is Michael going to do the deed? Is probably going to spill the beans? Who knows, mate? You know, suppose we have to find out in tomorrow's episode. Okay, so that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. So what was interesting is we brought Alfie Solomon back. He's here to inspect the jewels. Now, obviously, we know that the Russians plan to not give Tommy and obviously the Blinders the value of what they deserve. You know, they're going to do this job for them, and he was going to give them less money, and he was probably going to give them fakes as well. And Tommy's made his own plans. You know, what we've learned from doing this is you never trust anybody. You do it yourself, and you make sure it's done the right way. And that's what he's done. Whether he likes Alfie or not, he's probably taking a cut. Do you know what I mean? He probably is taking a cut. But what would you rather do? Do the job and get 70 grand's worth of fake jewels, or would you rather do the job, get 70 grand's worth of real jewels and give Alfie 10 of them? Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, they got him in, he's inspecting it like a fine coal, mate, looking at all the details, and they got what they wanted. So that's a big plus for Tommy. But we know that the Russians are planning to take the Blinders out in the next episode, so it's going to be interesting. But while they're trying to take the Blinders out, they're trying to dig a tunnel underneath their house, and they're trying to rob them for all of the jewels that they've just seen. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Now, what I thought was good as well is that Tommy put a plan in motion to the weapons that was pretty much part of the, you know, they move for the armoured vehicles, but there's also weapons there. And what I like is that Tommy obviously made a plan with the Soviets, didn't they? They went to the train yard, so to speak, to docks, wherever it is, they move in the armoured vehicles, and they rendered all the guns pretty much useless. They took something out of it which stopped it from being obviously like active, which means that attacking the convoy when they are moving the armoured vehicles will make it pretty much irrelevant. No need to start an international war, no need to start the chaos, because they've obviously prevented the use of the guns for being able to be used on the Soviets. So again, very interesting, smart that he's done that. You know, he's kind of putting all his plans in motion, to be honest. He's trying to get all his strategies in place, and he's ready to go. Now, another bit of interesting information is that Michael has come to Tommy and pretty much told him that he was abused by Father Hughes when he was younger, when he was a kid, obviously before he'd come part of the Shelby family, before Polly come and got him again, and he wants to actually pull that trigger. Now, Tommy's willing to do that. He's given the bullet that's marked for Hughes. He's got his name on it, and Polly's found it. She's absolutely fuming that obviously he's going to go ahead with it, and she's kind of said to him, mate, if you do that, you're going to bring the whole business down. There's no chance my son is taking somebody's life and pulling that trigger. But it's down to Michael. The only thing that annoys me with Polly is if Michael wants to do something, Michael should be allowed to do something. Whether it's against law or not, it's his choice, you know what I mean? He can't go and do something and then Polly takes that blame and puts it onto Tommy. Now, she can say, oh, Tommy, you've done that, you give him the bullet. What's to stop him from not attacking him anyway, on his own, without Tommy even knowing? Do you know what I mean? The pain and chaos that it's caused him for all his life, he might want to get his revenge now. He knows he's there. So she has to look at it from not a mother's point of view, not like a single kind of item point of view, like she's kind of being hypocritical as well. You know, last season we've seen it happen to her. The Inspector Campbell come in, he forced himself on Polly. She couldn't take it. She wanted to pull the trigger. She attacked him and killed him, like she said, in cold blood in obviously the phone booth, and she got her revenge. And now he wants to just do the same, but she doesn't like it. So again, really interesting. Obviously at the party, they all had to stick to the plan. They all had to go with the flow. You know, John, Arthur and Tommy did sleep with all of the people there. What's interesting is obviously Arthur looked pretty devastated. Obviously he's got a wife now, she's pregnant. So's actually John's as well. You know, Esme, she's pregnant as well. They end up taking each other's rings off, you know, like, so you could tell that he didn't really want to do it, Arthur. And it's interesting that obviously as he was leaving, he was saying as well, you know, are you going to do this? You know, usually go and tell her everything, but I bet you're not going to tell her. He's just get in the car. You know, get in the car. You know, he's not happy with it. And then Tommy's like, we're going to miss you when you're gone. You know, after this job, we're going to miss you. And he's like, just fucking drive. You know, like, so I'm not expecting him to leave. But again, very interesting his relationship and what's going on, and whether he's moving to California because it's his wife's decision or because it's his choice because he's found God and he wants a new life. And like I said, to finish off, I think there's going to be absolute chaos next episode. I think that there's going to be lots of fighting, lots of action. I don't think everything's going to go to plan because nothing ever does, which does make it exciting, and it makes it obviously more interesting when the unexpected happens. So I can't wait to find out. Hopefully you guys are excited for the finale and tune in tomorrow. If you did enjoy today's episode, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.